Right, let's do a roundup of last night's show at Fight Camp week number 2. Start from the beginning. Fiaz versus Baldespino. Prediction, I got that one right. Said he'd win on points, but to be fair, that was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be, but he got the job done. Next, we had the Blonde Bomber, Ebony Bridges versus Bet Conley. Predicted she'd get the stoppage, which she did. Guys, that fight was absolutely awful, by the way. Terrible. Ebony Bridges is very one-dimensional. And Bet Conley was essentially just a punch bag dressed up. That was absolutely shocking, that fight. Bet Conley's nickname is Lady Luck. I think it's time to get a new nickname now that you're on your 10th loss. Just really poor opponent. Really, really weak. No test at all, so that was an easy win. Who was next after that? I believe it was Johnny Fisher versus Danny Whitaker. Got the stoppage within inside 4 rounds, so that was an easy prediction. Next up, we had Alan Babic versus Mark Bennett. Honestly, guys, this was like something out of a Weatherspoons pub on Friday night. This was an absolute bar brawl. There was no defence taken into consideration at all. This was basically Babic saying, I want to get you out there as quick as possible. And I tell you what, you could tell the difference in weight purely because I believe that's the first opponent now that Babic hasn't been able to stop, at least within the rounds. So they had to pull him out of the corner after the 5th round, I believe. So it was a stoppage, but it's the first time Babic has had to see out a round with someone before it's actually been pulled out. But, I mean, that was an entertaining fight. So I've got to give that one some credit. But like I said, there was no boxing involved in that fight. It was purely both guys just swinging and praying that they knock the other guy out. So very entertaining there. Who was next? Fabio Wardley versus Nick Webb. Yeah, this was a complete whitewash, wasn't it? This was basically over in 2 minutes. So much so that after the fight, they had to fill the rest of the show in with complete and utter garbage. It was just all recycled interviews between Galahad and Dickens and, the commentary team. All stuff that we've seen throughout the build-up in the week. So that was slightly annoying, but again, it was an easy prediction. I thought Wardley would get the stoppage over Webb. Now, Galahad versus Dickens, this was the only prediction that I got slightly wrong. So I said this would go to 12 rounds. Fairness to Galahad, he was actually, I would say he was quite technical in this fight, and almost at times he wasn't actually too bad to watch. I mean, the difference in class was night and day. I know people that I've been talking to in boxing forums and chats this week who thought this was a 50-50, and I have absolutely no idea why they thought this was a 50-50. I mean, this was at the end of the 11th round, I think, just before Jazza got pulled out. And look at the state of his face. He looks like a melting waxwork. I mean, I said I was watching it last night, and I said, look, I know this is a world title fight, but after the 8th round, I was like, right, you've got to pull your guy out. He's getting absolutely torn apart. Galahad didn't even need to do anything too special. He was just using his jab really, really well, very accurate. I think actually he may have thrown more than 1,000 punches in that fight. And looking at the state of Jazza's face, you would have thought he would have landed most of those, but I think he only landed about 25% of those. It's absolutely unbelievable. The work rate of Galahad, you have to respect. And I think all the grinding he's done in the gym, and when you saw him on the scales as well, it looked like he'd really, really drained himself to get down to that weight. You could see he'd been working hard, but look, persistence for Galahad has clearly paid off. He's now world champion. What next for Jazza Dickens? Poof. Dude, all I know is now you need to have at least a couple of weeks holiday, bro. I mean, that face, it was really, really bad. I mean, that was as one-sided as a world title fight as you will ever see. So I think it was a fairly easy card to predict as far as least as the results were concerned. Like I said, there was a couple of things that happened that I didn't quite see. But, I mean, look, from start to finish, I still think it's a weak card overall. Do I think it's better than week 1? Absolutely. This was a much better show to watch than week 1. I think the presenting and commentary, I've still got a big question mark on. I think anytime that main presenter speaks, that Maya Jam or whatever she's called, you're almost ready to cringe because you think, a banana skin is on its way. And I think Laura Woods is one of the better parts of the programme. I think she seems like a nice lady. I think she's very professional. I don't mind her interviews as much. I think they're relying on Laura Woods a lot more, though, than what they're relying on Maya Jama. I think that is obvious. I can see them potentially switching their roles around, potentially. It's early days yet. I mean, let's just get this fight camp out of the way. But what did you guys think? Did you think the card was any good? Like I said, I think it was a weak card, but it had some better entertainment value than last week. What fight did you enjoy? Did you get all your predictions right? Let me know in the comments. Like the video and show me some love. Cheers.